Hey everybody, it's Coach Bob here, and today's video is going to be kind of a unique video. I want to talk today about um, lessons we can learn from some of the big successful companies or retailers, and today's is going to be a unique one. Um, these are lessons we can learn from Reese's, the candy Reese's. Okay. Uh, First off, all my health coaches, clients, partners, friends, take the lessons from this. Obviously, not the health implications of this amazing, delicious candy. Um, so give me a pass on that if you don't care. And then secondly, to the all those that are plagued with peanut allergy. Same thing. You can still take the lessons out of this, apply it to maybe another candy or candy bar. Although really this one, most of what I have to talk about today really does kind of focus primarily on the Reese cup or the Reese's product. So anyway, so let's get started here. Life lessons and business lessons we can learn from Reese's. Number one is simplicity. They have a very simple product. It's essentially two ingredients, chocolate and peanut butter. Now, we can obviously break it down to where chocolate and peanut butter have their own sub ingredients, and that is a factor because, as many of you know, there are different qualities and levels of chocolate and peanut butter. It's really almost a peanut butter blend that they have inside the Reese's. It's not really fair to call it just straight up peanut butter, which is another topic. I don't know that we'll dive deep into that today. But simplicity. Um, we could really go into what makes their chocolate what it is, what makes their peanut butter what it is. But I'll give you an example. I've had a lot of homemade peanut butter balls. That's a real popular dessert people make, especially for holidays and such. And I don't particularly like peanut butter balls. I'll probably get plenty of people saying, but you haven't had mine, or you haven't had my grandma's or whatever. Send them to me. I will give them a try. Just be ready for a good, honest review. And really, truth be told, peanut butter itself is not my favorite thing to involve in desserts and candies. Like, I don't like peanut butter cookies all that much. Anyway, I could go off track on that whole thing, but I won't do that just yet. But for some reason, the peanut butter mix or blend that's inside of a Reese's is a different ball game. So they start number one, simplicity. It's not an overly complex product. It's two ingredients. Boom. That's what you're dealing with. Okay. So that's lesson one, simplicity. Lesson two, flexibility, along with the simplicity. Okay. We've all been out there to the stores. They have the Reese's cup. That's the standard thing you see everywhere. Many varieties of that. There's miniatures, minis, in the seasonal times, hearts, eggs, giant, king size, Christmas. Every holiday has their version. But they are flexible. They take these two ingredients and they create something for everybody, from size, shape, you name it. Flexible. So the question after question one is, your business, your life, simplification is probably important, probably a key thing you need to do. Flexibility, again, along with simplicity. That doesn't just mean anything and everything. That means I'm flexible because people have different needs, different desires, and flexibility helps the Reese's. Okay. The next relates to demand. They meet demand. I think you guys know, you go into any store that has food of any kind, from the smallest of convenience stores up to the largest superstores, you're going to find Reese's. And you're going to find them in varieties. And you're going to find them easily. So the demand is always high for those, among those that like them. So Reese's meets the demand of its buyer or consumer. Okay. Next is identity. By the way, getting back to the demand, let's bounce back for a minute. I like a standard Reese's. I like the king size. And the funny thing is, I like different variances. I've even got a couple of packages here. These are, I saved these a while back. These are the Reese's unwrapped miniatures. The mini hearts, the mini trees, and there's also the mini eggs, which I didn't get any of those. Which goes to another point we'll talk to a little bit later. Is um, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll talk about demand, but these things are my favorites because they are unwrapped. They come in little, like I said, they're little tiny miniatures. I would show you a real one, but as you can see, this is a empty bag. Got no real ones to show you. They are tiny, unwrapped. They're easy. You just kind of pop them. But to me, they have a higher chocolate to peanut butter consistency, which I like. I also like the higher peanut butter to chocolate recipe as well. So they meet the demand. Along with that, though, is they make these things come out. They have these things come out, and they make them a little harder to find. I had to go a lot of places to find these things, and they aren't out long because they're seasonal. And I think they ship a limited amount to these stores. And I don't know if they just do that to increase the demand, but I have a hard time finding them. So anyway, so demand, okay, big part of, especially related to business, meeting, the supply, going into economics, the supply and demand factor is do you meet the demands of people? Not demanding things from you, but, I have to have it, but the demand economically, okay? Okay, number 4, identity. This is my fourth thing. Identity goes back to, for me, it goes back to the series of commercials from a long, long time ago. And they talked about two things not going together. And somebody accidentally knocks. I think it's a pirate. Now, there's a variety of commercials, but I remember a pirate knocking a candy bar and candy bar, and it lands in the thing of peanut butter. And they're like, oh, it's like a panic. It's like that. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And then someone takes a bite of it, and it's like, hey, these things really do go together. If you think back or look back at some of those old commercials, go check them out. They're funny, they're entertaining, and but it's a good point. They have an identity. They combine two things: peanut butter and chocolate. Going back to simplicity. Okay. Thing about it is that little concept comes out, didn't exist, and then all of a sudden this is created. I don't think the pirate is who helped to discover that. But I didn't read that part of the history of it. I probably should have, but. Identity. You can find it anywhere. I'd be hard pressed to find anybody that doesn't like or eat the Reese's. So that's it's a big deal. Clear identity. The next one I've got is consistency. Now this goes all over the place. This is a very big topic. Let's be honest. When you go out and you get some candy bar, and you get candy bars or of any kind, and you get a Reese's, it's pretty consistent. You know what you're getting. Consistently in the place where you can find it, consistency in its location, price. If you go out trick-or-treating, almost certainly if you go with any number of houses, you're going to get Reese's. So consistency. Now, consistency, availability, but then let's go to it's almost like a 5B. Talk about the consistency of the product. Now, I am a texture sensitive person. I don't know what it is. I like certain things to be certain ways. My friends and family would understand what I'm saying there probably. The thing about Reese's, they can suffer from inconsistency based on what happens after they leave the factory. Here's a couple things. They're very, very sensitive to time and temperature. So if Reese's are out for too long, they will change. You've all been to that Reese and got the crumble effect. That's it's a huge, huge disappointment. And you'll also get a lowering of the quality of chocolate. Chocolate peanut butter, at least that peanut butter blend with Reese's, is very susceptible to being affected by external factors. Okay, so that's when these come out, they're seasonal, so they're not on the shelves that long, at least at the initial retail stores. However, they do, they can go bad, but you don't generally get them to go bad because they come and go off the shelves too quickly. So I guess that maybe adds to the demand. So this stuff all ties together. Okay, So when you bite into these and you get that soft inner peanut butter, it's amazing. And I think it has to do with the little bit thickness of the chocolate, providing that protective layer. Okay, so a lot of candies and stuff suffer from this, as I talked about earlier, but the Reese's is exceptionally sensitive to that. So consistency A, as far as consistency of what you get, where you can get it, how you can get it. Consistency B is the consistency, that literal consistency of the product. Okay, and the other thing is, if you think about it at a deep level, if you're in business, they are susceptible to the vendors that they use. They are susceptible to the stores, to how well people handle the product, even from the trucking. I mean, there has to be a temperature consistency, keeps them cool, but also not too cool. If you refrigerate these things, which I don't like them that way, some people do. I personally don't like them that way. That just alters them completely. I like some other candies that way, but not the Reese's. But anyway, some people do like them the other way, which again is appealing to certain people's needs and desires, and they're willing to experiment. So consistency A, consistency B. Okay. And then the last one is always willing, Reese's is always willing to try new products and new things. At the same time, willing to let go and abandon these things as well. You've seen them before if you're a Reese's connoisseur. Reese's with potato chips, Reese's with pretzels, thin Reese's, sugar-free Reese's, which, my heavens, I mean, I get it, but I've not had one of those, so I should not knock it. So I take that back. But to me, I can't imagine sugar-free Reese's. White chocolate Reese's, another one that I would not do. I don't particularly care for white chocolate. Do you guys? I think they say it can taste the same. It just doesn't taste the same to me at all. And maybe that's the visual. That's a whole nother video we could do just on perception, the visual. I won't dive into that right here. So, but anyway, all those other varieties of Reese's, they're always willing to try, and every once in a while, some succeed. I think the miniatures, when they try those, that's a huge hit. Almost preferred by many people because of their size and consistency. Again, consistency. But a lot of those, they just try the pretzel ones, the sugar frees, the weird blending of different ingredients. And then there's the other products, which we're not hitting on right, like the Reese's Pieces. I do not like Reese's Pieces. It's just not my favorite thing. It's a different kind of peanut butter inside of them. And I just think the chocolate is key. But that's just me. There are many and many a Reese's Pieces connoisseur. That is not me. I'm not a fan of those. Personal opinion. Not saying they're not good. They're just not my favorite. So, but a lot of those other ones, the cheap ones, or the experiments, I should say, the potato chips. Well, I've seen a few of them still. Drizzled chocolate, all these things. Occasionally one of them hits, but a lot of them end up on the level 3 retail stores, ones that have like the expired products, which you can find some good things at those at times as well. So Reese's does a good job of constantly willing to adapt, willing to create new things, and go out on a limb to maybe hit a new audience and keep things fresh, figuratively and literally. So another good lesson for them. So there you have it. That's 6, maybe 7, if you break down consistency into 2 different ones. There's 6 or 7 lessons we can learn in life and business taught to us by Reese's. But you have to go deep. Simplicity, flexibility, demand, meeting of demand, okay, identity, consistency, again, and 5 and 5A or 5B, however you want to word it, and then the willingness to try new things and abandon them. By the way, that's the other thing. Abandon them when they don't go well. If they're not selling, they're gone. It's not the end of the world. They've got the key base product, which goes back to simplicity. So I don't know, adapt some of that stuff to your business and life. Could be a game changer. It obviously works for Reese's, as they are obviously continuing to adapt and change and bring that amazing peanut butter and chocolate experience right to us. So let me know what you think. Have a good day.